Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today we'll be taking a look at a way to revamp your rubber feet on your Thinkpad T470s, or for that matter, any other laptop out there, since you can actually adapt this method for other laptops as well. So with that being said, let's just get into it. So yeah, this is my trusty T470s, and it has a bunch of over-engineered rubber feet. Now this part is silicone, and it's sitting on top of a plastic base that kind of grips onto these little pieces that are supposed to stick in each of these perforated holes. Now the problem is, over time, it's eventually going to break from all the pressure, all the movement. It's going to eventually rip out. Now, you could use super glue, but that's not going to work since this is silicone and it's simply going to fall off. You could use silicone, but at that point, why not make yourself a full rubber feet made out of silicone? So that's exactly what we're going to do here, and that's exactly what I have done here. So let's go ahead and show you guys how to do that and try different methods on actually how to remove these plastic pieces, as the way they are mounted is a bit annoying. So here's what that looks like on the inside. The 3 points here are melted into the case, so you actually have to either scrape it off, drill it off, or just heat it up. And with the first one here, as a test run, I just simply went ahead and lit it up with a lighter, and once it was loose enough, I went ahead and grabbed it and pulled it out. And with this one, we're going to assume that you don't want to deal with a lighter on this point, so we're going to see if we can go ahead and rip it out with a razor blade. Okay, that was pretty easy. 2 more. Now, of course, be careful. I'm trying to do this to show you guys on camera. And that should be pretty much it. I should be able to just poke it out. There we go. Now with the T470s, for some reason they have some double-sided tape. So let's just go ahead and remove that. And it would be good at this point to go ahead and clean it up with some rubbing alcohol. But we should be fine right here. Now the next step is to go ahead and grab yourself a stick of hot glue and heat it up with a lighter, because I don't have a hot glue gun. And also this allows me to control it a bit more. So we're just going to give it a quick dab right here to kind of cover those holes, so when we go back to the bottom side, the glue that we put does not fall through. So that should be good enough. Now you can leave it to cool for about 30 seconds to a minute, and then flip it over. And at this point we can get started with the application. Now the method is to go ahead and melt it to a point where you can drip it until you can get a nice pool that automatically covers the area. And trying to do this while speaking behind a camera is not very easy to do. I kind of ruined it. We're just going to cut to the part where I do it without talking. Alright, so that looks pretty damn good to me. We're going to leave that to cool down. You definitely don't want to touch it, because right now it's got a nice pool that filled out the area just right. So I'm going to go ahead and do that 2 more times. And for this one, I'm going to kind of cut apart from this protective layer, as we don't want the silicone to latch onto anything. Now if you end up with some drip, don't worry about it, just simply wait about a minute and you'll be able to cut it out very easily, even using your fingernail. And then to clean it up, just give it a quick blowtorch and you're good to go. Alright, so here we are a couple weeks later, and here's what things look like after a couple of weeks of use. Now this is the first one I made. As you can see, it's much wider than the other ones. It's pretty distorted because I just lit it up way too much. It was the first test piece, but as you can see, it's very strong. It's not coming out, so that's pretty good, and you can always remake it if you want. Here's the other ones that I made, and as you can see, it's also very good. They're not coming off, and they're still in a great shape. Regarding balance, if you do end up with some balancing issues, what you could just do is light up each piece just a tiny bit so it's a bit malleable, and then throw it on a flat surface that can handle some heat and won't rip out like some IKEA tables. And just give it some pressure and you'll end up with a nicely balanced laptop. Do I recommend this? Of course I do. It's perfect. However, it's not for every laptop, as what we have here is a ThinkPad with a magnesium alloy build, so it can handle a lot of heat. However, for example, if you have an HP laptop with a plastic back, then you want to be careful. You might want to do it in one go, and if it doesn't work out, wait for it to dry, rip it out, and then try again. But yeah, that is all for this video. Hope you have enjoyed it. It's a pretty simple and straightforward process, and yeah. That is all for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, everyone.